Hey, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co, and today I'm doing a solo gameplay of Vantage from Stonemaier Games. This is a sponsored gameplay, although sponsored has a little bit of an asterisk there. More specifically, Stonemaier Games at the beginning of the year reached out and said, hey, we'd love for you to do a series of sponsored gameplays. You get to pick the games in question. And so for me, I'm picking Vantage as one of these sponsored games. So it's a sponsored series of gameplays, and I particularly chose Vantage because I wanted to dive into this one solo. I've played this a few times now, but this is my first solo playthrough. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and dive into it. I also probably will have a review of Vantage at some point. I don't know if this video goes up before or after the review, but make sure to check out the channel just to go ahead and find out my thoughts and opinions. For right now, I'm just diving into a solo gameplay from the very beginning. So if you don't know how to play Vantage, this will basically teach you 98%. I say 98% because I'm not really teaching the game, but honestly, within a few turns, you'll understand the general way that this game plays. And to start off with, you're going to go to the back of the Vantage, the Book of Vantages. You're going to go to the back of it, and you're going to start by literally reading through this over here. Weeks after receiving a mysterious signal from the Traveler, your ship arrives in the orbit of an uncharted planet. Create the total challenge pool using 8 dice plus 2 per player, which means for a solo game, we have 10 dice. Each player gains a different skill, select or randomize. I did select for this part, although we will be going random from here on inwards. We have 1437 over here is the skill I selected, and that's going to take the associated character. This is my character right now. We will be moving this later because honestly you're going to be surrounding your character with cards as you play through the game, but for right now he'll start off over here. We'll explain all the various ways the character works as we play. Then place the card in the middle of your grid and gain its when placed benefit. The when placed benefit is we place 2 boost tokens on to the card. Each player sets the stats to their current difficulty level. We're playing Daring, so we're going to have all our stats at 4. And then we're going to have 4. The first player gains 2 skills at random, so we're going to roll these over here. And we're going to get orange and that. I don't know if they actually have names. They have names from the books over here, but we have 1584. So we're going to take those 2 skills. We'll explain how skills work, but we basically did a randomized roll over here. And you could do it by, well, actually, this one you're supposed to do at random, so we did that correctly. You may re-roll pairs to get an easier mission because pairs are harder missions. Then everyone goes to location 001, but before we do, we need to grab 1584. 1584 is our mission. Now, I do have this off camera for the most part, but we're going to be grabbing things from this box as we go, so I'm going to find 1584, which is over here. We have collect a menagerie of animals. Have a total of at least 1 loyal animal, plus 1 per player, so I guess we need 2 animals, 1 loyal, 1 regular, or I guess have a total of at least 1 loyal animal plus 1 per player. So I need 2 loyal animals. In grids or reserves, if you do, read 1584. This is our mission. There's generally 3 ways to end the game over here. Well, technically 4, but 4 is an asterisk. Way 1 is to complete your mission. Way 2 is to complete your destiny. The asterisk is getting both of them at the same time. And then way 3 is to lose. Losing generally is going to result in you running out of one of your resources when you're not able to, at which point you'll read your mission's take effect, your mission's conclusion for losing. And the last way, which gets another asterisk, so I guess there's 3 ways plus 2 asterisks. The asterisk 1 is destiny plus mission. Asterisk 2 is you can just decide that you are done. Basically, you can set a time limit as you play the game. You can say, hey, I'm playing for 2 hours. If I don't get the job done in 2 hours, I lose. That is totally viable. It also helps when you are playing under a time crunch. Today, we're not doing that. We will either win or lose, and we shall do so together. And you can check just how long it took me by looking at how long this video is right now. When that's done, you're going to go to the Book of Secrets. You're going to go to the back of the Book of Secrets, and you're going to start off in location 001. So you always start off with 000, then you go to 001. The ship malfunctions. You have mere seconds to escape. Each player gains a different skill, select or randomize. We're going to do this one randomly. Okay, this one's one where you could have selected. We're going to gather that over there. That's going to give us a red skill over here, which also means we're going to go to 007 on our cards. So again, back to this book over here, we're going to go to our starter cards over here. And just to give you a little overview of how this works, all these smaller cards are going to be here, and the location cards are over here. Although they're all numbered, so honestly, as long as you have a number, you don't need to wonder which one's which, because the numbers don't overlap. It goes straight from the big cards to the small cards. Numbers are all distinct. We have 007. Your escape pod seals tight, ejecting towards the planet in a completely different direction from the others. Gain 2 random skills, again. We got those two. Gain 2 random skills, and then crash onto the matching location. You may reroll pairs to get an easier location. So we're going to get the orange-green combo. That's going to be 469. So we're going to gather location 469. That's where we crash landed. Which means if you've been following this so far as the beginning setup of the way the game's going to start, is you're going to start by getting a random skill. That's going to determine which of these 6 cards you have. Then from those 6 cards, you have a giant grid of, I don't know exactly how many there are, but I want to say there's like 25-ish. It's 25-ish. Which means you're working with roughly one of 150 different starting locations. Although, to be fair, I actually haven't looked back and forth on the cards to see if they're all exactly the same. They're definitely different, but I don't know if there's no overlap at all. I'd have to do a cross-check to see if there's no overlap, but they're definitely different. With that said, we are landing in 469. Now, normally you would put this location over here on your little board, but so that you can see a little better, I'll be doing it like so you can see our current location. This is the location you are in, or I am in. I'm in this location. Now, I can move around or engage. The general turn advantage just involves taking an action and trying to manage your resources, because the game doesn't really do things. You do things, and the things you do cost you time, energy, reputation, health, all of those things. So right now, we are currently in this location. An impressive piece of technology hovers over the left fork of the path. So we got something floating in the sky, which is pretty cool. Not entirely sure how we should engage with that, or if we should engage with that, frankly. It does look like it has the purple symbol on it. Not that I know, but I am going to take a focus action because that symbol is there. That makes me want to take a focus action. The way cards work is cards have a list of actions on the side. You can also move away from the location. That's why we have the Depart storybook over here, because we're going to be doing a lot of moving. Moving involves going in one of the destination pathways, or just moving to one of the stars, which is usually the easiest way to move. When you have to reference a number, you have more choices to how to get around, but usually at a higher cost. But right now, we're not moving yet. We're currently content with where we are. What we're going to do at the moment, let me put this card off to the side, is we are going to do a focus action because I see that focus symbol up there. So, all those other symbols over here in the hidden, but I don't know. This isn't really a look at the cards in a hidden way sense, but you could look and choose to read into that as you will. I'm doing the focus. We're going to gather this book, and we're going to take the focus book, because it's the purple action, and then we're going to look for card 469. There's a bunch of books over here. There's the Book of Secrets, there's the Depart storybook, and then there's 6 other books representing these 6 core types of actions. Focus is a look action. So purples are going to be look actions, and focus is a specific type of look action. That will matter more as we gather various gear in the game. You'll see how that plays out. Generally, the fact all you need to know right now is it's a purple action, it's a look action, we're going to gather that, and then later we might reference a specific focus action. 469. Now, if you're playing this with more players, other players will read this for you, but we're not playing with more players, so I'll read it. Focus on the rune. Each player, including you, on a location with any rune, a skill icon within the Vantage, gains 1 boost. Then you roll X skill dice and gain all results matching the rune on this location. Well, I don't know if I care to do that. That's a lot of skill dice over there. Okay, so we're going to roll X skill dice and gain all results. Also gain 1706 if the player does not already have it. Add a horizontally to supply and place the first token on it. Okay, so we're focusing on the rune. I think I'm just going to spend 1 on this action. Maybe I'll spend 2. I'll spend 1. This is a cost of X, so that's all I'll do. I'll spend 1 over here, rolling 1 die from our challenge dice pool. This is the pool that's going to constantly go to the penalty zone and reset. You'll see how that plays out later, but right now I did that, which means we're going to run out of time. So in this case, I can't use it for any of my actions because I didn't use it for a purple action, and that would be a star. We'll explain how this works later, but effectively this die goes down here, and I'm going to lose a time. Then I'm going to roll the skill dice, and I got the purple. I got a purple. So I'm going to gain a purple over there because I rolled matching the result of the rune. Anything else? Gain quest 1706. So let me gather quest 1706, and then we'll continue and see how this plays out. 1706, that's like that's the second last card and the third last card in the deck. So we have quest 1706 over here, find hidden runes. Whenever any player sees a rune, once per location, place a token here, any row in the matching column. Each player gains the indicated bonus when a row or column is complete. If this card is full, rotate it and add it to any player's grid. So we're going to place it over here. We have a little quest we're going on. We are placing this over here like so, and we are working our way towards, get the reward. Well, I guess we'll go on that spot. So it gives us something we can do. It gives us something we can do as far as that. Add a horizontal supply, place the first token on it. Great. We got a quest because we are finding runes. That's it. That's all you do at a location. Now, you can't do the actions at a location more than once unless it specifies otherwise, so I can no longer do push, activate, broadcast, hack, or raise. I was only able to do focus. Although I do know that apparently I want to focus on runes whenever I can do so as I work my way towards this quest over here. But outside of that, I think I'm just going to move. I'm going to move upwards over here, so I'm going to go straight up to the above. Wait, no, I did this wrong. So, I think I said it wrong the other way around. Whenever you have a star location, those are the harder ones, versus the numbered locations are easier. And I am interested in easy, so I'm going to move to the left. The impressive piece of technology hovers over the left fork of the path. I'll go to the left, so I'll go to 339. That's going to cost me a single movement action, which generally just results in you rolling a single die. The cost is 1, and we are going to spend that. We are already running low on resources. That's the bad news. The good news is that things will get better for us soon, but you start off with, I don't read anything. I'm just going to grab a card. I'm going to grab a card. 339. We're going to 339 on this card over here, so let me just find that card. And we're going to have 339, which is our new card. Now, I will just keep these cards off to the side. I'm not gonna put everything away as I play because that would take longer. I'll deal with that later. So I'm gonna have a stack of cards that I'll have visited, which I may have to go to when I need to revisit locations. 339. We have this item. This may look like a battle, but it's actually a spirited game of dice. The stakes are high, as they're playing to win the Helm of Fortune. You may perform multiple actions here, one per turn. The per turn won't have a big difference or effect, because effectively we're just playing this ourselves, but I could dash, solve, persuade, honor, pilfer, or raid. I think I'm going to try to persuade, because I do have the ability to slot a dice if I take a persuade action there, so we're going to take a persuade action on card 339 and see what's going on in this universe. Persuade a guard to look the other way as you borrow the artifact. You may pay money to decrease this cost by X. Well, the cost is 1, and I don't have money. So we're going to do a 1 cost action. So that's going to be shown over here. So you're paying the cost of 1. Persuade a guard to look the other way as you borrow the artifact. I'm going to roll the die because I could slot it on my character here because I'm taking an orange action. That's the persuade action. And generally you're going to be slotting your dice here depending on the results you roll. But I rolled that, which I'm okay with. I'm going to actually just return it. That symbol over here is going to be returning it. The symbol you want the most is that, which has no cost. But returning it means that while this pool is not weakening, we haven't cost ourselves anything. So, persuade. The guard feigns distraction as you pick up the artifact and stroll away. However, the utility of the artifact eludes you. If you pay 4 boost, your attempts to use the artifact are successful. If not, the mystery of the artifact remains unsolved and it vanishes from your grasp. Gain 1 boost. Well, so I gained a boost. That's the good news. And I could theoretically come back to that action again if I gain boost, because over here, this location, we can do actions again. So, on the other hand, my concern is that if I pilfer or raid, maybe I'll solve. Maybe I'll try to solve. I don't want to solve right now, but I'm going to try to. I guess we'll try to solve. Okay. So I think, are there any other runes? Like, is this count as a rune? That's the thing I'm curious about, because whenever any player sees a rune once per location, I would argue that that is a rune. I am going to argue. So, here's one of those things which is a little bit of a house rule situation. Not house rule, but a judgment call. This spot over here does seem like the orange rune. It is a 2-layered concentric orange circles. I'm going to count that. I don't know if I'm supposed to, but I'm certainly going to count it because it looks like it is close enough. So we're placing that down on this card over here. And then the question is, do I want to take a dash solve? I may take a solve action. So we're going to take a solve action over here on card 339 because, again, it's back to my turn. This is just me taking actions until I run out of resources to take actions. 339 is, I skipped that page over there, solve the artifact puzzle. That's going to be a 1-die action. Let's roll and see what we got. We got a return. I'm okay with that. Okay, we have 339. The sentients invite you to join their boisterous game. You will try to create the best poker-style hand of dice compared to 2 competing sentients. For this game, roll 2 skill dice for yourself, set aside 4 skill dice for the sentients, 2 dice each, you don't know the results yet, and reserve 3 shared skill dice. So, I got 2 skill dice for myself, I have 2 skill dice for sentient 1, 2 for number 2, and then I have 3 for the center over here. Okay, we're playing a game of Texas Hold'em, it looks like. Roll 1 shared die. Do I roll any? It says roll 2 skill dice for yourself. So their dice, I don't know yet. So I'm going to go ahead and roll my dice over here. We got those. And then we're going to roll 1 shared die. That's the first die. We're rolling that. Okay. Okay, not great yet. Not great. Let's see what the hands are. With that knowledge, you may reroll one or both of your dice simultaneously, then roll the second shared die. Again, you may reroll one or both of your dice. One final time, roll the third shared dice, then you may reroll one or both of your dice. Now roll both of the other gambler's dice to see the results. The order of possible results from best to worst are 1 of a kind, 1 pair, 2 pairs, 3 of a kind, full house, 4 of a kind, and 5 of a kind. So there's no reward for having like, all different kinds. So 5 of a kind. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and reroll. You may reroll one or both of your dice simultaneously. Okay. Then roll the second. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Okay, so we got this one over here. That's my dice result over here. We're going to roll their second die. And we got that. See, I have a pair. A pair is not bad, but none of those match those. So I'm going to re-roll both of these. Okay, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. We're going to roll the last result over here. We got a blue. None of this is good for me. We're going to re-roll both of my results. And we got a terrible result. We got 1 pair. Oh, that was so bad. I should have kept this. This is what I should have kept. That's on me. That's on me. We're going to re-roll their results, though, but it doesn't matter because I have these results over here. They rolled that, which means no result, and they're going to have, what is it going to be? They got the 2 pair. Okay. See entry 339 in the Book of Secrets. This is interesting. I've never done a poker battle in this game yet. Let's see what 339 in the Book of Secrets says. If you have the best of the 3 hands, then you succeed. If you fail, gain 2 random skills. Your location is still 339. And perform no other... Oh, I didn't succeed. Okay. If you fail, gain 2 random skills. Your location is still 339. Multiple different actions here. I can't do the same action. That makes sense. Okay, so I can't come back to the same action because otherwise, gain 2 random skills. So we're going to re-roll these. And we got a blue and a green. Okay, so we're doing good on skills. That helped us as far as the skill allocation. Did not help us as far as actually... gaining the artifact, which I would have loved to do. So, we can still dash, we can honor. Do I want to honor? I can do all these different location actions here. I may as well, but you can also do actions on your cards. So the question is, do I want to do any of these actions over here? You know what? We might plead on the collecting a menagerie of animals. So I'm going to take an action over here, plead 1584. So we're taking an action from our card over here. Again, whenever you see those things, you can do it. You're either activating the location, which would be 339, or over here we're doing 1584. We're going to do a plead action. Let's see what that's going to cost me. That's going to be a 2-cost action, so we're going to be rolling 2 dice. Let's remove all these dice away from the pool over here because it's getting a little clogged. So we're going to roll 2 of our challenge dice. And 1 gets returned, and 1 is going to cost us a health. So this is the problem with it. You can play a game with this that would go pretty quickly. It just depends on what you get your hands on. 1584. Plead for someone to support your mission. This action can be performed at most once per game. A helpful sentient offers to lead you to a location just south of where you may find an animal. Choose one. Either stay at your location, and I get fruit that can entice animals, or I can go to location 704. That's interesting. I think I want to gain item 1224. Okay? We're going to find the animals on our own, which might be a mistake. But I'm getting the location, I'm getting the item card, which you'll see how item cards work soon, but I think I need some degree of item cards. So, we have this card over here. This is item food. When placed, I get to take 3 boost cards, and also I am going to move this depart storybook because I'm going to need this area over here for my character. So I'm going to put the character over here. We're going to put an item surrounding my character. Usually the location doesn't matter significantly. We're just going to have that over there. We're going to place 3 food on here. If the card is empty, lose a card. And what I can do, I can take a brew action to gain item 1158. Or I could do a consume action over here. Consume might give me health. So honestly, the health is helpful, but I can also do things to put over there. So I got a whole lot of options. Interesting. We got options. We got options as far as things we can do. We'll walk you through them more as they become relevant. But for right now, we are still taking actions. We still have our card here. We can raid, but I don't think I want to. We can dash. I don't think I want to. I think I'm just going to wander to a new location. We're going to go to location 338. So we're going to roll a single challenge die over here. And I got that, finally. I've been waiting for those results. We're going to go to 338, which is on the other side of this card. 338. We have an item. We have this over here. That's a green rune. That's a green rune we're going to go ahead and spend. Not spend. We're going to take that and put it on this card. So I found a little... Whenever a player sees a rune once per location, place a token here. Each player gains the indicated bonus when a row or column is complete, which is not relevant yet. Rotate it, and once this is done, if this card is full, I rotate it and I get that to my grid, which is great. But for right now, that's not relevant. What is relevant is you can hear mirth and music echoing across the plateau from a floating oasis resort. Do I want to spy? Do I want to assist? Access, duel, scale. I want to assist. Yeah, I don't want to duel right now. I'm going to go ahead and assist in this location. So we're going to gather the book. And again, thinking through the actions you take, that's a big part of this experience. So assist on 338. We have... It's a 4-cost action. Oh no. Oh no. Do I want to spend? You know what? I can't afford to die this early. I'm going to spend 2 skills to reduce the cost by 2. So these skills, they help you reduce costs. So I'm going to only roll 2 dice over here. And we got... Oh my gosh, that's so good. That's so good. 2 things that... Two non-actions, non-results. 338. An incoming delivery service heading into the resort. Choose one. Take the time to complete the delivery before slipping away within the resort. Ooh, lose 1 time and gain $3. Go to interior 570. I want money, but I can't. I need to get some cards to mitigate my dice results first. After you enter the resort, dash into a side room when no one is looking. Go to interior 570. So we're going to go to interior 570 right now. We're going into the resort, and that's important because, well, I can't afford time. I can't afford anything. We're going to take this and we go to interior 570. Now generally, okay, let's see. The room must belong to one of the resort's many rich patrons who fortunately is nowhere to be seen. So we just dashed into here. Do we see any symbols that we can take advantage of? I don't see any symbols. I mean, these symbols over here are just telling us the items we can engage with. So we can steal whatever this cloak is. I do want the cloak. Oh, I do want the cloak. That, I don't know what it is. We can raid for the jewelry. We can exit offhand. We have whatever this search is, which is a bottle over here. I think we're going to steal the cloak. Okay, that's the action I'm taking. So we're going to gather our yellow booklet, which is the take booklet, appropriately enough, and go to 570. 570 in this is 3. Steal. Now, I don't have any yellow actions, so we're going to be rolling 3 yellow dice over here. I'm going to see how this goes. Steal is going to be steal the elegant robe, just as the breeze might do so anyway. That's justification. I'm stealing. I'm not going to try to justify this. We roll those dice, and we got these results. So we have some good news, some bad news. We have this is straight up good news. That goes here. This can be slotted onto this card because it can hold that, which goes there. And then we lose a health. We are so close. I should probably eat the food. If I eat the food, consume. I should probably take consume action on the food. We'll do that in a second. Let's resolve this first. Gain item 966. See, this is why I did it. I did want the item. 966. 9666666. Hey, we now have a cloak, which is great for some more orange actions. I'm going full orange over here. I probably should just take orange actions at this point. Hey, so this action, ignore heat damage. That's great. This one over here, it's when we slot a die here, we're going to gain a boost. And when we spend 2 boosts, we get to refresh 1 die. That's helpful. Craft a more advanced item. Reserve this. Gain leaf skin armor or net trap. So we could try to craft, but we're not going to do that right now. We're just going to place it down over here into our grid. We can have a full 3x3 grid of our character, and we'll move those cubes when we do so if we need to. That was it. Okay, wait, we got 50. No, wait, steal. Steal was 570. Gain item 966. You may push your luck to try to steal a far rarer item before you're caught red-handed. That does sound good. If you do, roll 3 skill dice up to 3 times, always rolling all dice. If the final result includes a pair or a 3 of a kind, gain 994. In addition, the extra bonus for 3 of a kind is to gain 3 skills and $3. If not, you're caught in the act and lose item 966. Oh, this is so hard. Do I do a 3 of a kind roll? So let's see the stats in it. The stats are, the dice have 6 different faces, right? So on any given die roll, you have it's the first die is automatically going to match, so you have if I'm rolling 3 dice, if 1 matches, that's a 1 in 6 chance. But if it doesn't match, then the other die has a 2 in 6 chance, because there's 2 possible results. So you really have a 1 in 6 plus a 2 in 6 per roll. I think that math is correct. Therefore, you have a 3 in 12 result, a 1/4 result per roll of getting a pair. I am not going to risk it. I'm not going to... Is my math right? The first result, because your first die could be anything. Therefore, your second dice has a 1 in 6. If it matches, you already have a pair. If it doesn't match, then you have... This has a 2 in 6 chance. Therefore, the total result per roll is a 3 in 6 chance, which means if we have 3 rolls, a 1/4 chance... Oh, interesting. So a 1/4 chance with 3 rolls, that means we do have multiple chances to get that right. So that's technically, it's 3/4, but it's not really 3/4. It's just 25% chance 3 times. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Let's go ahead and roll. Let's go ahead and roll. So we're going to see what we got. We're going to do roll number 1 is already. There we go. There we go. That's the first roll. Perfect. Okay. So, and I'm not going for a 3 of a kind. I'm not. We gain item 978. No, that's 3 of a kind. Gain 994. 994. Okay. I'm happy with how this went. We got 2 items out of it. Is it instead of or in addition to? That's the question. Try to steal a far rarer item before you're caught. The final result, okay. Then we got both. We got both. Okay, we got 994. We got the ring. The ring's in the picture. We got the ring. Oh my gosh, yes. This is also very helpful because first of all, it has crafting actions, which will help us with both of these, which have crafting. But also, we do need results that aren't just orange. Right now, we've just had orange, and now we have a lot more flexibility on these results. When placed, gain a boost. Ring of enhancements. A player replaces a card in the grid with a card in its craft, upgrade, or refine action result. I don't know if I fully understand that. A player replaces a card in the grid with a card in its craft, upgrade, or refine. Oh, that's this. So, for example, this is a craft action, so we can use the Ring of Enhancement. The next time we take a green action, if we slot the die here, we can get another boost, and then we can spend those boosts to move this directly to its better form. It's almost like those are designed to go together, which they are because that all happened on this card. Okay, so we wandered into the palace, we gathered that, we still need animals. We haven't gotten any animals yet, and that's a problem because our mission is to collect animals. But what we can do is we can leave this location. Now here we can go back to 338, that's an option, but on the flip side of that, oh wait 1 second, let me make sure I'm reading this because sometimes they had a exit result. Either way, exit to 338, that's why. So we're going to exit automatically to 338, which was the card that I had off to the side. So I'm back in this location. Now it's important to note, we can't take the same action again. Even though we're coming back to it, you're supposed to ideally remember that we took an action here and we cannot do another action. So we have to wander away from here. Now, if you forget, you forget. Generally, like this type of situation, we wandered in, we wandered out. That's easy, but at times you might forget. This is not one of those times. So we came from 339. We're going to go to 337. Again, keeping in mind we could use the other results, but I'm just going to go to 337. We're going to roll this single die over here. Do I want to roll it? I don't. I'm going to spend this to reduce the roll because I don't want to lose any hearts, although I also want to do that action too. So, but right now we're going to wander to 337, although before we do that, let's consume a fruit. So we're going to take a consume action on that, which is going to be 1, 2, 2, 4. So we're taking a consume action to try to eat one of the fruits because I'm worried I'm going to die. 1, 2, 2, 4. Consume some fruit, pay a boost on this card. The fruit is refreshing and delicious. Gain a health. So we're going to give up one of these, and we're going to gain a health. That's helpful. This card is giving us some health opportunities. Now again, I do have other options. I still have my core actions on my character over here, which I probably should do. You know what? Let's take a buy action on my character. So I'm going to go to 1, 4, 3, 7 and take a buy orange action. Although, we're not going to do that yet. We're going to start by going to 337, like I told you a second ago I was. We're going to pay that to reduce the movement cost. Movement to a general specified action is always 1. It's only when you do the stars that you go to the actual storybook, which I've been avoiding because I'm trying to build myself up before I go a little bit too adventuring. So 337, let's find that card. 337, we have the armored transport is heading from the Gilded Village to the treasury in the Golden City. It handled the steep descent from the south with surprising grace. Okay, any runes that I can see? Not offhand. And now we can approach, examine, hail, upgrade, siphon, or raid. I think we should hail because, again, I think our cards are well set up for that. The flip side is upgrade. Upgrade is cool, and we do have an upgrade spot here, and I do want to be able to upgrade this, so you know what? We're going to take an upgrade action. We're going to gather our upgrade book over here. Just put this off to the side, and we're going to go to 337 and take an upgrade action. This costs so much. It costs so much. Upgrade the rope bridge to better handle the weight of the transport. Oh, we're upgrading the bridge. So we're upgrading the bridge to handle the weight of the transport. It's going to be interesting as far as how that plays out. But what we're going to do is we are going to... so we have 1 die from here, and the pool's going to reset, which means all the dice from our cards come back as well, which is why the more you upgrade yourself, even though I lost a bunch of stuff early on, the way the game is set up is early on you are kind of weak, and the more you build stuff, the more what's the word for it? Mitigation you have as you play through the game. But right now, so we take that one result, we take these 3 other results, and we're going to roll these dice, and we're going to see what we get, because we are upgrading. We have 2 results that we can hold on to. Let's see how this goes. We got this. Oh, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. So we got 3 of these, and we have this, which can go over here, which means we won't reduce that because we're not leaving it there. And that's also going to give us a cube on this card, which means we can spend these cards to go directly to replace this card with its craft item result. So we can gain leaf skin armor or a net trap. And I think I want armor because my health is bad. But first, let's read this and resolve. Ooh, this is fun. I kind of like this. Anyways, 337. Upgrade the rope bridge to better handle the weight of the transport. The driver admits they're always nervous about crossing such a basic bridge, and they pay you in praise and coins. I do prefer the coins, but I'll take either. We're going to take 5. Let's take 2 2s and a 1. We now have some coins over here. Gain 5 and 1 morale. So we're going to gain 1 morale as well. You may go north to 342. I will go north to 342. Thank you very much. Okay, where's 342? 342. We have a new location, and we have some things we want to do in between locations. So 342 is over here. I still haven't done my buy action, which we'll take care of soon, but we are currently at 342. Do we see any runes? We do. There's a rune on that card. There's a rune right here, which means we can take this. There's a little pyramid rune. We almost had a full row at this point, by the way. We're working our way towards that full row. We just need to find more stuff. Anyways, some of the markets in the Golden City across the canal are a bit overpriced, but you can always negotiate with gold sentience. Sneak is always available. Basically on this card, even if we do another action first, we can still do sneak after. Now, I do think that doing a hail action makes sense, because again, I'm so strong in yellow over there. But first, before we do that, I'm going to spend these 2 from this over here to craft this. So I'm going to take item 973, I'm going to replace it. Reserve this. Oh yeah, so this goes off to the side. So we're going to take 973. 973. Okay. We have item armor. So we got this, which seems far, far better. We can put a health result on there, which means our first health result is a guaranteed safety net over there. All right. This has descends. We have a descend result if we want. We also have refresh 1 die. How do we get those? By slotting health. And we can craft into an advanced item, replace this with circuit skin armor or a Hydra suit. There is so much flexibility here. We're going to reserve this off to the side, and we now have armor. We are powering up for our adventures into, well, whatever. Back to over here, I think we will take a hail action. We're just so strong in orange. I guess we're less strong now because we just got rid of that. But we still are strong enough in orange that I think it's the right move. So we're going to take a hail action. Because again, we have been a little not as good with survivability until now. I was getting close there. Like, theoretically, this could have been a very short video if that heart had gone down to 0, which is 1 bad die roll away. It's always possible. Hail. We're going to spend 1 orange, so it's 1, well, not spending orange, we're doing a 1 orange action, either the Traveler or the Ferry. Let's take the action and roll, and we got a star. The star, so we can place the star in a few areas, we're going to place it on there. Okay, that star is going to go there. Over here, we'd have to pay a boost from this card to place it there, which I'd rather save that boost for, well, healing myself. What card are we on? 342. Yeah, there we go. Either hail the Traveler or the Ferry. Do you want to hail the Traveler for advice about escaping the planet, or hail the Ferry for a ride onto the city? I don't think we're trying to escape the planet. I think we want pets. And there's probably pets in the city. The ferry operator drops you off at the city gates. They recommend the Husk Shop and the Broker. Gain 1 boost and go to City 529. Now, when you gain boost, you have to gain it to your character card unless something else references that. So, for example, these cards, when they give you boosts, go to themselves. This card goes here, this card goes here, but generally gain boost goes to your main character card, which I do have the ability to re-roll. Yeah, I do have the ability to re-roll. I forgot about that. So if you really do get tough, like in a tough spot, I can re-roll things. Gain 1 boost, go to City 529. So let's find 529. We're going to find our card over here. Okay. We are now in the city. Oh, yeah, these. These are going to be going that way. So we're in the city, and generally you can perform multiple different actions, 1 per turn. So we can do different actions while on the spot. Do we see any symbols? Any runes on the city? Not entirely sure. It doesn't fully look like an obvious rune situation. You'd think it'd be primed for it, but I don't see anything, so we can ignore it. The Golden City is an opulent, wealthy, gleaming metropolis. It is indeed at that. Okay, so if it's a golden, gleaming metropolis, we can go over here. We can trade over here. We can navigate. We can offer access, patrol. We can enter. I kind of want to trade because, again, I'm good at orange, but I feel I've been leaning into that a little too heavily. So we're going to try access. We're going to try access on card 529. So let's go ahead and find that, 529. It's going to be a 3-cost action. We don't have any yellow to mitigate, so we're just going to roll 3 dice over here. It's access a street market. Let's see what happens when we do so. We're going to roll these 3 dice, and we got that. This one's fully cocked. We got that. Beautiful. Okay. Now these two, we're going to have to lose a time because unless I re-roll it, which I'm not going to. And this could be slotted somewhere, but we did a yellow action. And honestly, these two are only for the others, so it's going to pop back over there, which is fine. That's totally fine. So what we're going to do now is going to read this. Access a street market. A vendor at a busy street market showcases their array of wares. Choose one or gain a boost. We can pay $4 for a pair of flippers, or we can brazenly steal an Aether lantern. Gain 953 and curse 1393. I don't want curse 1393, but I also don't care. I really don't care about the flippers. I will pay $4 for a pair of flippers because I just don't want the curse. I'm going to pay $4 for a pair of flippers. Gain item card 927. Let's see what 927 gives us over here. And again, don't forget we can take other actions from this zone as well. Let's see if the flippers are any good. So we have flippers, which are going to be good for underwater. So an underwater action over there, that'd be great. But otherwise, it's terrible. It's worth 4, which is what we paid for it. Dive, surface, and swim. So we can place a die over there, and we can craft a more advanced item to gain hiking boots. So we could trade this in for hiking boots if we are, if this ring continues to help us with the boosts, then that will help us. But that's going to take some time to get there because you have to cycle through your dice each time. So, and honestly, I'd rather replace it with serpent skin armor because that sounds cool. So, access was kind of a bust. I mean, it wasn't bad, but we lost all our money. I could try to enter. We have some degree of blue mitigation. We don't. We have a tiny degree of red or green mitigation. I think... Did I go into the results of enter? I don't think I want to. But we just got the flippers, and the flippers are blue. Maybe we do enter. We will enter. Is that good? No idea. We'll find out. Enter on card 529. This game could last 2 hours or 3 hours, or you could die at any point. Fail. It's no death. Enter the treasury. It's a 1 die action. That's easy enough to do. So we're going to roll this over here. We got a star. Can we place the star anywhere? Not for that, so we are going to lose morale. Fortunately, we have plenty of morale to go with. 529. An attendant welcomes you inside the treasury. Choose one. Tour the treasury to learn about its history, or dash away from the long-winded attendant with some newly minted coins. I will do that one. We're going to gain $12. Dash away from the long-winded attendant with some newly minted coins, gain $12. So we just paid for our flippers. That's the plus side. We also got $8 to spare on top of that. So our flippers are free in a manner of speaking. That was enter. Do I want to do anything else while at this location? I can do offer. Have I done offer yet? What was the first? I did access. I didn't do offer. I don't want to do trade right now. I could do navigate in the central pyramid up here. That's possible. I'm going to do offer. Let's go ahead and do offer. Let's see what offering gets us now that we have some money. So going to 529 on this card over here. And we have... Oh, it's so expensive. So expensive. So the plus side is all the dice are returning because we only have these 2. So we're going to pull everything back. Need 5 dice, and then we're going to put those over here. So we're going to offer your assistance at the embassy. Let's roll and see how bad this goes. We might need some mitigation. That went fine enough for me. So we have these 2 over here. These 2 neutral results go there. I think there's 2 of those results. Yeah, so every die has a 1/3 chance of hitting that. Then we want to lose, well, nothing. We want to lose nothing, but we can place this over here to generate a boost. So that's a good use of that die. And we can afford to lose some morale. So we'll go down there, and we'll place this down here, which will generate a token on that. So we're already at 5 dice over there. Let's see what we got for that 5 expensive cost action. Offer your assistance at the embassy. Gold sentients run the embassy, but you see many types of sentients here. Choose one. Perfect the art of persuasion, or persuade the gold sentients to join an alliance with humans like you, or buy a new life for yourself in the city. These all seem so much. I'm going to perfect the art of persuasion. I think that'll help me in the future. That's going to be ability 1463. Also, I do like the idea of being persuasive. I like the idea of adding to my skills, more so than making a life in the city. This is our card for Perfect the Art of Persuasion. So for Persuade abilities, we have more options. And then we can spend 2. Okay, fine. Okay. So we can spend 2 to gain that. Persuade, if interacting with a sentient, you may pay X to decrease the cost by X. Gain the result of an engage action. Interesting. So we have more options. Also, I'll note, the first time you have a full grid, you do get a destiny card. So one of the destinies you can get is when you fully finish your grid of, yourself. You've built yourself up in this world, and you kind of have a destiny that's available to you. Now, with that said, now that we've done that, I could do more things. I think I do want to do my buy action on me. So we're going to go to 1437, and we're going to see what the buy action is on me. Let's find 1437. I don't think I've done that yet. We're going to see if we can, speaking of trying to build ourselves up, we're going to try to see if we can build ourselves up. 1437. Buy something from a traveling merchant. Ooh, this is good. I waited till I had money. Buy something from a traveling merchant. It's going to be a 2-cost orange. I'll do it. I'll do it because I have the dice to put it there anyway. We got that. These are both return options. I could slot one, but like honestly, I think I should just return it. Boom. Okay, return them. Again, returning delays your reset, but it doesn't cost you anything bad, so like still worth it. A traveling merchant offers you the opportunity to buy a special product to support one of the 6 actions. Choose one or gain a boost. So, we are doing decently in green. Like, well, we now have red as our... We have orange. We have so much orange. Do I want to help our move? Our look? I think I'm going to pay 6 for a beam ball, okay? So we're going to pay 6 for a beam ball, so I'm going to get 4 change. Why? Because honestly, it's the most expensive thing that they have, and I currently have money. And so I'd rather use it over lose it, so we're going to gain item 1228. Also, I've never played with item 1228, so it'll be fun to see what that does. Let's see what our beam ball does. And in theory, this action can be done again. Like, so I don't see a reason not to, although you'd have to spend a bunch of dice again. Okay, so we have a beam ball. This is going to, let's see, we could do a leap action, we could do a time action on a movement, and then we have beam, move to an adjacent location, and roll 1 challenge die. Place or suffer as usual. Interesting. I'm not sure, what's the upside of that? Move to an adjacent location, and roll 1 challenge die, place or suffer as usual. I'm not totally sure I understand what that's doing for me, but we'll keep it for right now. I mean, because in theory, you can move to an adjacent location in general. The only reason I can think to it is if it's skipping the specials. I feel like I'm missing something on that card. Or I'm missing something on how this game plays. Because in general, when you move, you just spend 1 die. This is saying roll a challenge die and move, which is the same as moving. I feel like I'm missing something. Anyways, I think we've seen enough from this location. We came into this... I don't remember where we came into this from. I think we came into this from 342. We're going to head to the left and go to 343, which means we're going to gather a new card over here, 343, and we're going to go here. We're going to get rid of the city. We are exiting the city. We also have to go ahead and spend a die to do that, so we're going to roll a die, and we got a time. Now, we could place this time on here, generating a boost, which, again, not entirely sure what that does for me. We'll figure that out later. Okay, 343, do we have any runes on this card? Not that I can see. A slight breeze tussles the grass along a quiet canal. So we've gotten better at a few things. We have swim. We have a swim action. Swim. We're going to do a swim action. We are going to swim here because we have flippers. We got the flippers, and so help me, we shall use those flippers. We're going to swim. Let's go ahead and look in that book. Let's grab the specific, not the depart book. It's the blue book. We're looking for 343 and swim. Nope, nope, nope. Swim across the canal to the north shore. So we're going to roll 3 dice, but we do have the ability to slot some, which is not the worst. So we're going to roll these 3 over here. We have 1 non-effect, and then we have these 2. I should be able to slot those in different places, maybe. This is an underwater action, and I don't think we are underwater per se. That's a leap action. So the question is, which of these is less damaging to me? And honestly, I don't think either's great. We'll lose the heart, and then we'll slot this over here. And this goes over here because we lost the heart. So this has a send action too, which is nice. But none of those are going to help us at the moment. Okay, so that was 343. The water tastes slightly brackish and go to 507. So we're going to go to 507 right now and see where we ended up. So we're swimming across to the north shore. We are in a new location already. We are over here. Where is this? Where are we right now? So, the ocean ahead is vast. If you proceed this way, you will choose between holding your breath underwater and staying on the unpredictable surface. Well, we have a thing that lets us go underwater. The ocean ahead is vast. If you proceed this way, you will choose between holding your breath underwater and staying on the unpredictable surface. I mean, but then what? Do we go a certain direction? I hear you on the warning. I think we probably should wade. Because the other option is we could go to 508. We have 1 die left, which means we're going to return it no matter what. So we may as well go to... we're going to wade. We're going to wade. Should I hail? I have more flexibility for hailing right now. I think I probably should hail. Because we can't... We're going to hail. We're going to hail. Okay? We're gonna try to maximize our options of success. So 507. Play to your strengths over here. Play to your strengths. 507. Hail the ferry. We're going to do a 3-cost action over here. We're going to go ahead and pull this die and then pull back all our dice, which opens the door back up to that. So we have 3 dice over here. These all go back over here. We're going to roll 3 dice. We got 2 neutrals. Beautiful. And this is a orange action, which means you can place this heart on here. We could place it here as well, but I think we're going to place it over here and gain a boost for ourselves, which we kind of lost that last time. We got this bend boost to just do a general movement, but whatever. That was 507. Hail a ferry. A skiff catches the wind and sails over to you, but the captain won't steer north because they can feel a storm a-brewing. Choose one. If you don't pay, the captain warns you of those who live under the sea. If you do pay, you may go northwest of the churning ocean edge on 365. Northwest, oh my gosh, we can go to a lot of places. If you pay $1, we're going to pay $1 because we're going to go northwest, okay? Which feels like we have the flippers. We want to use them, but gain a boost. So we're going to gain a boost. So we're now at full boost capacity on our guy over here, which is going to be helpful to an extent. Then we are going to northwest the churning ocean's edge on 365. I have no pets, by the way. Not a single pet. Loyal or otherwise. Gain a boost. May go northwest of the churning ocean's edge on 365. Or to a treasure chest on 367. Now, normally, I would go to a treasure chest on 367. But I want to go to the water stuff. So we're going to go to 365. We're going to find that. And we have this card over here. Are we hoping there's a water on it? Yes, we are. I mean, a pet on it? Yes, we are. Because we'd love to find a little dolphin that can help us out. There's also no runes of any kind, which is not helpful for our little quest over here. Your stomach churns at the motion of the waves. Well, no freaking duh, it's wavy. We can dive. We have a dive action on the flippers card, so we are going to dive. We're just going to, again, lean into what the game makes you good at. 365 dive action. Dive. Dive under the choppy waters. Oh. Okay, fine. We're going to dive into choppy waters. So we're going to roll 2 dice over here, see what we get. We got 1 of those. That was there. In fact, I put it over here just to make sure I remember those. This returns, and this is going to go on to the dive card. We could put it on the star, but honestly, the dive seems like it's more selective, so we're going to slot it there. Dive underwater, under the choppy waves, go north to 643, where you ignore the hypoxia damage upon arrival. That sounds great. Ignoring hypoxia damage is great. Why do we ignore it? No idea. The game is good enough. We are underwater. There's a pet! There's a pet! Also suffer hypoxia damage, but we could ignore that right now. Generally, when you suffer heat, cold, or hypoxia, lose either that or both of those, okay? Several red animals avoid a powerful water spout. I want the red animal. Surface is always available. Okay, well, we have ride, observe, mimic, rescue, grab, and hunt. Rescue feels like it's the best way to get animals, and we need a loyal pet, so we are going to rescue from those. We could also mimic, hoping for the best. We are good at mimicking. Several red animals avoid a powerful... We're going to go with rescue. We're going with rescue. This is a problem. Okay. I want to do all the things. Rescue. Oh my gosh, it's a big one. It's a 5 action. Rescue an animal being pulled into the water spout. Okay, so it's going to be 5 dice, which is not great for us. We do have some mitigation over here. We're going to have to use all we can because we don't have any green skills right now. So let's find out what we can do. That's not great. Not great at all. Let's see what we can survive over here. So first of all, we can slot this here, which will generate us a boost. Okay, that's all good over there. Then, let's see. Let's see what we can do over here. That's 1... What else can we do with these? We can't place these. I mean, we could. I can't place that there. We'd have to lose 2 time. I think we're going to spend one of our boosts to re-roll one of the challenge dice. We're going to re-roll this one first. Okay, so we're going to re-roll. Actually, we're going to roll the heart because we have nowhere to place the heart. This is the downside. So we're rolling the heart. We could place. There's a green action, so we could place one over here. So we're going to place one there, but let's start by doing this. There's a heart. We got that. Beautiful. We're going to do it again. Okay, we're going to do it with that thingamajiggy. We got a star. It's not the same result. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it with the time again. We got that. Beautiful. Now, I could just take that hit and go down to 1. I don't love that. I don't love it, but it's not the worst. We'll put 1 over here, which will generate a boost for this card, and then we'll take the 1 hit on the star. But now we could go ahead and build a Hydra suit. Do we build a Hydra suit? We could build a Hydra suit. Let's resolve the action. Let's resolve the action. But we can build a Hydra suit, and we're going water thingamajigging. Okay, 643. Rescue an animal being pulled into the water spout. You drag some heavy flotsam towards the animal, using it as leverage to prevent the both of you from succumbing to the funnel. When the animal is safe, it starts to the east and returns with a large egg, presenting to you in gratitude. Gain item 979. If this is not a pet, because it might just be food, right? But it could have just given me food. It better be an egg. It better be, not food. That's what I'm saying. Well, it's an egg. Item egg. Whenever you would suffer heat damage, also add 1 to this card. Okay. Hatch. If full, replace this card with randomly. Okay, so we're going to be hatching this into a pet eventually. But we have to either use time effects on it or take heat damage. None of those things sound good to me. I was so excited. I was so excited. And now we could surface, but I think we are underwater, and we're going to stay underwater, but we're first going to go ahead and spend these 2 to replace this directly. We're going to craft this into an advanced item, replace this with Surtskin armor or a Hydra suit 965. We're going to have a Hydra suit or die trying. I will note that we are technically crafting this underwater right now, but we do have a Hydra suit as a result, so this is going to pop over there. These are going to, I believe, this is where I'm not actually sure, I believe these transfer to the new card, but so sue me if I'm wrong with that, okay? Sue me if I'm wrong. We're going to put on the new card, though. Alright, craft this, replace this. Okay, great. So we now have this item over here, which will still help us with the health, but now we have an underwater action we can take. We have an underwater action that we can take over there. And what else is there? Okay. Ignore heat damage, upgrade into a vehicle, replace this with a mech suit. That seems so cool. I want to do that now. We can replace, okay. Too many things we can do. But right now, we're going to go 637. I think we're going to go to the west over here. So we could go 637, which means we would roll this 1 die over here on a blue movement action, which we could do because we have a blue movement action up there. So let's see what happens. We're going to roll. We have a decent chance of surviving this roll. So we're going to go to 6. Let's go up. I've been going left the whole time. Let's go up. We're going to go to 649. So we're going to roll that. And we got a star, which I don't like the star, but I could place the star over here. So that's fine. That's fine. And then everything's going to return because we're going to roll dice soon. And that's how that works. Okay. Oh, that's why you'd want to refresh die, because then you could do that. That makes sense now. Anyways, we're going to go to 649. So I was just thinking through some things that you can do and why you would want to do them. Okay. Now again, we still don't have a pet, but we are making progress. Suffer 1 hypoxia damage. Well, that sounds terrible. That sounds terrible. I didn't think about the fact that that would happen, because when you suffer 1 heat, cold, or hypoxia damage, lose either health or those. And we are going to go down to here because that's bad for us. I don't want to get to 0, but we are not doing great as far as not dying. That's not great. Okay. I think I probably need a surface at this point. Alright. We have a recent shipwreck, glitters just under the surface. Repairing a vessel like this while underwater could prove to be a challenge. Do we have any runes that I can see? We don't. We have like stuff in purple stuff over there. We have that over there, but I don't see anything that would classify as a rune. Now we do have surface, squeeze, search, pick, repair, loot, or cleave. A recent shipwreck glitters, I think I need to go up. Do I not? You see, this makes me ignore heat damage, but not hypoxia damage. Hypoxia is not heat damage. So this is great, although this is tricky, because if you have ignore heat damage, and whenever you would suffer heat damage, interesting. So what happens first? For the sake of thematicness, if I suffer heat damage, I'm going to ignore it with my Hydra suit, but still the egg that I'm holding outside my Hydra suit is still going to collect an egg. If I'm wrong about that, I don't want to be wrong. But thematically, because the question is, that which wood happens first? Because since the heat suit stops me, since the Hydra suit stops me from suffering heat damage, if we do the Hydra suit first, then I would not suffer heat damage. But I'm going to do the egg first, because it's higher. Okay, so we're doing fine-ish, except for the fact that we're down to 1 here. But here's the good news. If we die now, at least we've been on a good journey together. As opposed to dying earlier on would have been very anticlimactic. Now it would be like, we tried. We tried our best. So, I don't have my loyal animals. I don't know what over here is going to get me. We have squeeze, search, pick, repair, loot, and cleave. Loot is always possible, but I'm like the least well-suited to dealing with loot. I think that we're going to squeeze. Why? Because I have a bunch of things that I'm good at with blue. and surfacing gives us an action, we're gonna squeeze. Surface is always available, but is surface in the depart book? That's interesting. Let's either way. Let's go to 649. We're going to squeeze. Let's see how this shows it, because there's actually two different things. All right, there we go. 649. Squeeze into the ship through a small hole in the side. You pull yourself into the hull, go to interior 012. But first, we have to roll 3 blue dice. And we got these. Those are perfect over there. Okay, so what we can do is we can definitely take this and put it over here, because we're underwater, and that means we're going to put this onto here, which will generate a cube, which means we could refresh our die with that too, which is helpful. That was a decent roll. Now we go to interior 012. Let's find 012. That's early on. That's like one of the earlier cards you can see in this game. We have interior 012 over here. Suffer 1 hypoxia damage. I can't. We're going to undo this. We're going to do this part. Okay. Even though I'm okay dying, we are going to eat a fruit first to regain a health. Then we're going to squeeze ourselves into here and do that. Okay. It counts. It counts. So we are now over here. The only place we could go is back up to 649, so we're going to surface next no matter what. Pirates in the ceaseless churning of the ocean have long since mostly emptied the sunken shipwreck, but a few items remain. Do I see any symbols that I can use for my thing? I do not. Which means we go to exit, search, wield, repair, steal, or raid. Wield is probably... We're going to wield. We're going to wield. Why? Because we're good at it. We're good at engaging things. So we're going to go to 012 and wield. Wield, oh, that's a cool, it's got a cool thingy. We got a cool thingy. Okay, so, but we do have to make sure we survive this. So I think I'm going to spend 1 of these and roll 3 dice. Because I think we can survive 3 dice roll. We got those. Those are beautiful, beautiful. And then this we're going to put on here to generate a cube for us, because we can't afford to lose health. Wield the sniper rifle wedged between the wooden beams. You twist the sniper rifle free and swim out of the shipwreck. Gain item 1153 and exit to 649. My expression is because I know what's happening now. I don't think there's a way around this. So, the good news is we gained a sniper rifle. Okay, that's the good news. So we get the sniper rifle. Before, pay 1, reduce cost by 1. Scope, view an adjacent... Oh, view an adjacent listed location. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Sniper rifle... Okay, we have the sniper rifle. That's cool. We're going to move these tokens up over here. We don't need those on camera anyway. We're going to place this here. We now have a full thingy. So the first time I play has a full grid. Gain Destiny card 1705. So you're going to get to see a Destiny. Although that's as far as how exciting this is going to get. We're going to get a Destiny card. Destiny. Whenever a player ends their turn, they may add 1 token here. If they do, they gain a token on their character. The game ends if there are 6 tokens here. So basically, we've fully equipped ourselves. So now we just have to survive until help arrives. So at the end of each turn, we're going to add a token there. The problem is, we suffer hypoxia damage. Why does the Hydra suit not help with hypoxia damage? Bothers me so much. It bothers me so much. Because basically what's happening now is this action over here, this 12, said gain item 1153 and exit to 649. 649, where is 649 actually? 649 is over here. Alright. Then, when we exit 649, we're going to suffer 1 hypoxia damage, and unfortunately I don't think there's anything we can do with that. Although I think you're allowed to... Okay, I'm going to do a double check, because even though it sucked to lose that card, and we gained this over here, I am still going to just double check to make sure we can do this, okay? Because I want to make sure... I think technically you can do it at any point in your turn. So using item, reduce the cost, roll dice, items, items, items. At any time in your turn, even the middle of an action, you may boost powers on cards in your grid to benefit yourself. Yeah, that's a boost though. The consume would be an action. I think the order there does matter. Boosting you can do, but that's a full-on action. We are, unfortunately, I was hoping to surface. I didn't realize it was going to punch me back out into the ocean there, which means we suffer 1 hypoxia damage. So we're going to go ahead and read our mission take effect. So we're doing 1584, and we are sadly dead. That's what happened. We just died. We just went down to 0 because we ran out of resources. You travel to the planet to surround yourself with fabulous fauna. Yeah, I guess so. But you are exhausted. Choose 1. If you completed a destiny, no. If you completed the mission, no. If you feel that you had a fair shot at this incompletion, oh, that's cool. For the record, this is the first time I've lost, by the way. If you feel that you had a fair shot at this incomplete mission and it's time to move on, end the game taking the knowledge you've gained to use on future attempts. That's interesting. If you feel that your untimely demise happened far too soon, you may rally to take one final chance. Refresh all challenge dice, roll them, and gain the time, morale, and health results. If any player stat remains at 0, the game ends, otherwise continue playing. That's pretty cool. That's the first, so for the record, I've played this game a few times. This is the first time I've actually lost. It always starts off as a fairly tight game. But I do like the fact that when you get to the end, if you're like, hey, that was turn 3, what the hell happened here? I do like the fact that the game's like, take a bunch of dice and roll it and keep playing. Games are here to have fun, and setting up just so you can play for 20 minutes, that's not fun. Versus, I definitely feel like I got a Destiny, I didn't get anywhere towards the menagerie of animals that I needed, but I do have a full grid of cards, I've explored this planet, I got a Hydra suit, I've been making my way in this world. Honestly, the thing that killed me is hypoxia damage, because I was fully okay with like all the, why does the Hydra suit not help with hypoxia damage? If anything, that's my only complaint right now, because you can't give me a Hydra suit which doesn't protect me against the underwater. I feel cheated in that sense. In that sense, I feel cheated because I had flippers and a Hydra suit, and I couldn't go around underwater. That feels like a mistake. But outside of that, this was a full experience where I got a sniper rifle, I got my egg that I was working my way towards, I have all these items I was trying to craft. I was great at negotiating and persuading, not that I met anyone to talk to. I ended the game with 6 money and with a life well lived and working my way towards my private quest cards, and I did not get to finish my destiny or my missions. I didn't get a pet. With that said, this has been a sponsored gameplay of Vantage from Stonemaier Games. Until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I'm going to go write a harshly worded email about hypoxia and Hydra suits and see if I can get that problem resolved on the second edition of Vantage. But until next time, I hope you have a good one.